Most issues that people have today are people that do believe, or at least they're trying to, is issues of faith. And faith is a very, very difficult thing to have, during rough times, during tough times, especially when you don't work on it every day. Faith is not something that comes naturally to someone. It's very easy for someone to say that I have Emunah in Hashem when things are good. It's very easy to say that, someone's making money, someone has a good relationship, kids are growing up good, everything is great. Very easy to say that you have Emunah in Hashem during good times. The real test of Emunah is during difficult times. And that's the problem that most people have, and that's really the test. It's no big deal to say that everything is that you have full Emunah in Hashem if everything is great. It's a big deal to say that you have Emunah in Hashem when things are not good. Are you still going to keep the faith? Are you still going to go and pray every day 3 times a day? Are you still going to do tefillin? Are you still going to eat kosher? Are you still going to not work on Shabbat, even though there's a potential for a very big deal on Shabbat, and you don't know if there's any other way for you to pay the rent or the mortgage without having that deal? That's when you know that there's a test of Emunah. And that's when you know that Hashem is specifically testing you to see if you think that what you're doing is within your own powers and your own hands, or it's in His hands. And the problem today is that most people fail the test, not because they want to fail the test, but because of a lack of knowledge and a lack of Emunah muscles. Meaning that if you work on your Emunah on a regular basis, then obviously over time, it's when the time comes for you to be tested, you'll be prepared. Just like if someone trains every day for war, and little by little in the army they get better and better and better, and eventually when there's the real war, they're ready for the war. But someone that's just sitting in the back, and hiding from it, maybe he's only training once a week, and then eventually the war comes. It's usually that person that gets hurt the most. It's usually that person that runs away from battle. And that's actually why David HaMelech used to tell all of his soldiers before they went to war that if anyone had any fear, they weren't allowed to go to battle. Even if they had fear of the enemy, not allowed to go to battle. They said, why? It's not that he's worried about that particular person having fear. In today's age, people would say, no, do like what any football coach would do. Just encourage the guy and tell him, listen, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. Play hard. And that's logic would tell us that. But David HaMelech knew something a little bit different. David HaMelech knew that this is not a game. And he knew that if that soldier has 1% less Emunah than he needs to, then it's not just his life that he's risking everybody else's life. Because one soldier getting hurt leads to other soldiers getting hurt, and so on. So having Emunah is something that's very critical for us to have on a daily basis, and the way you develop it on a daily basis is by listening to Shulei Torah, by praying and really getting to a point where you're praying with full kavanah. There's actually a story that I heard about the previous generation. Something really amazing. I mean, it's mamash alvai aleinu. It's just really, I wish for something like that to happen to us on a regular basis. There was one time, there was this one righteous guy who was telling a story about his grandfather, and he says, my grandfather, when he was alive, we would have to change his siddur every three months. 3 months. What are you changing the siddur? What? Siddur gets ripped every 3 months. What's wrong with the siddur every 3 months? He goes, no, you don't understand. Every 3 months, all of us, me and my brothers, all of the kids would have to change the siddur every 3 months, because after 3 months, there were so many tears on that siddur from every one of his tefillot that it wasn't even readable anymore. So imagine the type of prayer. This is just the previous generation. This is not 500 years ago. This is, let's say, in the last 100 years. This is someone that every time he's praying with full kavanah, with full emunah, and he really believes that Hashem is really listening to him 100%, to the point where he's confronting him with an open heart. Imagine if one of our prayers, not every day, one of our prayers per week was just like that one guy, where he had it three times a day. Imagine that. We're not so far off of it if we